What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today I am starting a new series, hopefully, depending on how well this first episode is received. And I haven't actually thought of a name for it yet, which is actually quite bad thinking about it. I should have thought of one, but hey, Jeremy Clarkson hasn't thought of a name for their new Amazon TV show, so don't see the problem for me. So basically, in this series, or in this episode at least, to start off with, I'm literally just going to be talking about stuff to do with football, so transfer gossip, so potential transfers coming through soon to different football teams. That part will mainly be in the Premier League, mainly because I support a team who play in the Premier League. If you guys want me to do other leagues and stuff, then let me know, I can do that. I mean, I've got one from the German league today, just completely and utterly contradicted myself there. So yeah, we're doing transfer stuff. I'll also be doing manager gossip, so gossip from different managers that might be going to different teams, and just general other stuff, other football gossip and other things like that. That was a bit rambling, wasn't it? Anyway, so let's kick it off with a transfer news. And like I said, this one isn't from the Premier League actually, even though I said I would be doing it from the league. This one is from the German league. It's German First League, and it is the news that Mats Hummels has allegedly asked for a transfer to Bayern Munich from Borussia Dortmund. Now, Mats Hummels is a brilliant player, and honestly, I'm a Man United fan. He was linked with Man United for a long time, and I think he still is actually. He might still be linked with us, and honestly, I want him to come to United quite a lot. I think he'd be quite good as a replacement for someone like Michael Carrick. But yeah, I think going to Dortmund, going to Bayern Munich, he'd be good then. But looking at their team, I don't think that they need another midfielder. That's the only thing I'm thinking, is they don't actually need him. Like, he's a fantastic player, but they've got people like Ribery, Javi Martinez, Robin, Douglas Costa, Alonso, Goetze, Vidal, and then new young players that are good, like Kingsley Coman, and they're all really good players, and I don't think they need another midfielder. And thinking if he'll fit in, I think he might do, because they've got, like I said, they've got a lot of good midfielders, and I think him in partnership with someone like Douglas Costa or Javi Martinez in the middle might be quite good to say behind Vidal, who can play in Cam. I think that's where he plays anyway, which is, yeah, it will be a good deal. And it didn't say how much he'd be going for, if I remember rightly, but I think he's just put in a request to move. And honestly, Dortmund as a team, they should be doing better than they actually are at the minute. And yes, they're in the Europa League, but they were in the Europa League anyway. They got knocked out by Liverpool. They should be in the Champions League. They are a team in the Champions League. They have people like Hummels and Royce and Aubameyang and other players. I don't actually know the Dortmund team that well, to be fair, but they should be doing much better than they are. And I think it's a fair transfer. Honestly, I hope it doesn't go ahead, because as a United fan, I'd hope to see him come to United, but I can't see that happening. So I think him going to Bayern might be a good move for him. I'm not sure how much he get played though. I'm not sure how much he get played there. Bayern have dominated the German league for a long time now, so they can afford to mix and match with their team, and I think he might do quite well there. Moving on, we have another Dortmund player. This one is a slightly more tenuous rumour. The reason I'm doing this one now is because it is linked to the Premier League. It is linked to a Premier League team. This one is actually Man United. I'm going to be doing quite a lot of these because I get quite a lot of notifications about transfers to Manchester United or away from Man United or whatever. And this one is about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who is one of the main strikers for Dortmund in their league, and he has been doing fairly well this season actually. I think he's scored quite a few goals. He did fairly well in the Europa League until he got knocked out by Liverpool, of course. And I think he'd be a good signing for United. I'm not sure though if we need him. That's what I wanted to talk about. I don't think United need him, because we have new good young players who are just coming into the team. We've got Martial, Rashford, and then we've got Lingard and Young, and then there's another kid, I can't remember. Is there another kid? Yeah, so then we got Lingard on the wing, and also Young's very young, I think. And then we've even got people like Januzaj, who is still playing for us, who doesn't even make on the bench, because we've got a decent team. And then we've got people like Fosu Mensah, who granted isn't a striker, but it just shows we've got young players in the team. And then of course we've got Rooney, who's getting on now. He's not as young as he used to be. He's not as good as he used to be. Yeah, and I think we need him. As much as I'd love to see him come to United, I just don't think he'd get played. Or if he'd get played, he'd push someone else out like Rashford or Martial, who I don't want that to happen because I really like those two. And I think they're going to be fantastic for United. The other part of this story is apparently Manchester United are willing to pay £70 million for him. And honestly, I don't think he's worth that much. He's a fantastic player, but he's just not very consistent. He doesn't seem to score as many goals as he probably could. And I just don't think he's worth 70 million. He's got pace and he can finish. I know he can finish for a fact. But 70 million, that's a heck of a lot of money. You're talking like Gareth Bale and Neymar and Suarez money. That's a lot of money for a player like that. And I think he'd be worth more between the 40 to 45 million pound mark. If that's a bit of a push. Maybe drop down to 35 mil at the most. I just don't think United need to sign him, especially we don't need to spend 70 million on a player like Aubameyang, who's good, but I don't think we need him. Right, moving on to the next news. This is the news that Burnley will now receive £6.5 million in a fee and £1.5 million add-ons for Liverpool striker Danny Ings. They of course signed him at the end of last season, if I remember rightly, in the summer transfer window. And everyone thought, oh, this is going to be a fantastic signing for Liverpool. They're going to play him up front. He's going to score loads of goals for them. But unfortunately, this season it just hasn't gone for him. He's played a few games, and I think he's scored about 4 or 5 goals this season. He hasn't scored many. He's hardly been played. And now Sturridge is back in the team. He's recently just come back from injury. He's just not going to get a game. And they've got people like Firmino and Coutinho who can just score the goals that he can't because he's not on the team. Honestly, £8 million is probably what he's worth. I think he needs to move. I think he needs to get a transfer away from Liverpool, if I'm honest. At Hull, I really liked him and he played really, really well. He scored a lot of goals for them, and I think it was a mistake him moving away because Liverpool have just got so many players now that they just don't have room to keep bringing players of his talent in. Liverpool need a player that's a massive player. They haven't replaced Suarez yet, and they've lost Sterling. So their main players at the minute are Coutinho and Sturridge. Sturridge isn't, Sturridge isn't consistent with his play time. He's been injured a lot recently, and that means that they can't rely on him. They've got Benteke, you know that, but can Benteke score goals? Probably not. They need a striker, and going back to it, they could probably do with someone like Aubameyang, and I'd hate to see Aubameyang go to them because they're a huge rival of Manchester United, but they need someone like him. They need a big player who can score goals, and I just don't think Danny Ings has that still. So I think he either needs to go on loan for a bit or just move away from Liverpool together and get a transfer away. Considering they just paid it, they're going to be paying $8 million for him. I don't know if they're going to sell him straight away, which is unfortunate for him, but I think he just needs to go because I don't think he's going to do much more than he has already there. Right, moving back on, and this is another story related to Liverpool. Their former manager, Brendan Rodgers, this is my manager's thing for this episode. Brendan Rodgers has now been linked to Swansea. He's apparently close to agreeing a deal to move back to Swansea. I think that would be a brilliant move for Swansea and a brilliant move for him because he left Liverpool with a bad reputation. He got them to almost winning the title, Steven Gerrard.
Derpity derp 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 derp.
And then he lost it. And then at the beginning of this season, everyone thought, okay, they might be able to challenge for it. They just didn't turn up. They were in the bottom half of the season before Christmas. They got rid of him, which was probably the best move they've done this season. Brought in Jurgen Klopp, which honestly I hated to see because Jurgen Klopp is a fantastic manager. But he has completely transformed Liverpool. They are in the semi-finals of the Europa League. They knocked out United from that, which I was really annoyed about because I got so much stick for that. And he just had a really bad reputation at the end of this last season and the beginning of this season because he just can't manage apparently. At Liverpool, he did well up until a point, and I just don't think it works for him anymore. I think going back to Swansea would be a good move for them because they haven't done badly this season. They just haven't done as well as they normally do. I don't think they're going to get relegated this season. I think they're out of the relegation fight. So I think him going there will just give him a bit of a revival. He'd bring in a couple of players in the summer and then get Swansea back to where they deserve to be, which is in the 5th, 10th spot. I think that's where they should rank, probably about 8th position, which I think for them is a fantastic position to be in. And I think that could be good, and I hope Swansea actually get him back because he is a good manager, and it was just unfortunate for him that things went the way they did at Liverpool, and just the way he acted at some points may have not helped him. And I know for a fact that some of the parody accounts on the internet definitely didn't help him at all. Now we move on to another big transfer rumour. This is a massive rumour, literally from one of my transfer apps that I have, and honestly I think it's unlikely. I think it's very unlikely to go ahead, and that is that Theo Walcott has been linked with Manchester City. In the article I've got here, it says that Arsenal forward Theo Walcott is reportedly a summer target for Manchester City, with incoming Sky Blues manager Pep Guardiola asking the club to monitor the situation closely. Theo Walcott, I think, is a good player. He's a good player. He has been so unfortunate with the injury. The injury he sustained that put him out for an entire season really hampered his career. And I think that if he hadn't had that injury, he could have done so much better. He hasn't found a position for him that suits him best. I think he's best out on the wing. I don't think he's a striker. I think he's best on the wing where he uses pace, get crosses in, get assists, and occasionally score the odd goal. At Arsenal, he just can't do that because they have people like Sanchez, Welbeck. Who else do Arsenal have that plays on the wing? And they've got Campbell and their new player, who I can't remember what his name is. Their new young kid, who is actually a really good player. Really going to annoy me what his name is, and there'll probably be a title on the screen once I found out what his name is. But he's a really good player, and Walcott is just being pushed further and further out. Credit to Arsene Wenger, he's tried to push him in. He's tried desperately to push him into the team, get him scoring goals, but it just hasn't worked. He played him up front, he's played him on the wing. I think he even played him in the number 10 role or something, and it just hasn't worked. He hasn't scored many goals. He's been getting a few tap-ins here and there, but it's just not worked for him, and it's unfortunate. With him going to Manchester City, I think it could be a good move, and I don't want to keep saying unfortunately. For him, that could be a brilliant move for him. I don't think it would be well received at Arsenal to go to a club like Manchester City, who are all about money, it's not that way, but they were nothing before they had money, and I think it could be a good move. He's 27, so he's not young. He's not a young player, and he needs to find where he's good in his game. And I think moving to City will give him an opportunity to play on the right, because they've got strikers. They've got Aguero, and they've got Bonnie, and they've got Iheanacho, who I really like, and I think Iheanacho is a fantastic player. And then they've got people like Sterling on the wing. They've got Silva in the middle with Kevin De Bruyne, and I think he wouldn't. All those positions are full. City don't need to fill those positions anymore. They've got a good team over there. Their main weakness is on the right hand side, and looking at their team, they've got a lot of central midfielders, not many wingers. So in their central midfield, they've got people like Fernando, De Bruyne, Delph, Silva, Fernandinho, Toure, and that's about it. But then on the wing, maybe they've got two players at the minute, and that's Nasri and Navas. That's probably their only options out wide. Occasionally Silva will go and play there, but they don't have much. If they've got someone like Walcott to go in and play on the right hand side, I think he would be a good player for them to put on the right. He's got pace, he could break that down, and he's got people like Sterling and Aguero who can keep up with him, keep up to his pace. Counter-attacking, they'd be devastating, and I think him going there would be a brilliant move. And I think he'd probably only go for around 20 to 25 million, because I don't think he's worth that much. But I think he'd be if they can get him to City and Pep Guardiola can talk to him and mould him into a good right winger, I think he could be a brilliant player, and I really like him. And it's a shame that what's happened to him in the last couple of seasons has happened and it's hampered his career, whatever. I think he'd be a good move for City, and I think they should go for him really. But that's probably slightly unlikely to happen as well, just because I don't think Arsene Wenger would want to sell him to Manchester City as a team, because they're just such big rivals of Arsenal, sort of. But anyway guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, I hope you like this kind of video, and I'm going to try and do it again probably once a week maybe, depending on what comes up during the week. It's getting close to the end of the season now, so the summer transfer window will be open soon. During the summer transfer window, I'm going to want to do this as much as possible, because there's going to be lots and lots of rumours just circulating constantly about transfers. So I'm going to try and do that as much as possible. Like I said, thank you very much for watching. If you have anything you want me to talk about, or just questions you want to ask me, whatever, or if there are any leagues you want me to focus on for transfers and rumours and whatever, then let me know in the description below. If you did like the video, hit the thumbs up button while you're around. If there are any improvements you want, just leave them down in the comments below, and I will try and improve my videos as much as possible. Other than that, if you are new around here, please feel free to subscribe while you're here. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. So, bye.